Hey fam, welcome back to the Youth Voices segment where we get to address matters affecting the youth and the future generation. And in our previous episode, we delved into the seed law with none other than Noik Mandu, Mombasa-based leader for Greenpeace Africa. And I promise that he will grace our studios once again, and here he is.
Yeah.
Noik, it's good to have you here again.
Thank you very much.
It's always an honor, even as we delve into the episode too.
I'm so much humbled, when you called me.
Hey.
I knew it's a privilege that we have to delve in again and speak about these matters.
Thank you so much for honoring the invite. I don't take it for granted.
Thank you very much also for inviting me.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Real quick, even as we delve into the episode 2 week, on the 27th of November, the High Court of Kenya declared unconstitutional some section of the seed law that prevented farmers from selling and sharing of the seeds.
That's true.
Yeah, with this recent ruling week, how do you think this empowers the younger entrepreneurs and farmers?
First of all, let me say it is a win for the farmers. And actually, it is something that they have been fighting for years because it had already been made illegal for them to save, share, and plant the seeds that they know best.
Sure.
And for the young people, I think they also need to celebrate because the future of this country, the future of the food of this country is in the hands of the young people.
Yeah.
And now this law was kind of sabotaging what the freedom they have, because in the near future they will not have that freedom of sharing the seeds, planting the seed they want, and having the foods that they would want. But instead, it means that they would have been dictated by the corporations and the government, and it would be very tough for the younger people, and also they wouldn't have that freedom to share the seeds and pass it to the next generation. Maybe their children become. You see, so I think it is something that the young people have to celebrate also.
Yeah, sure. This is a way for the younger generation.
It is actually that is true.
Yeah, sure thing. And matters. This topic of seed law, it's a very huge topic in Kenya.
It's a huge topic, and especially for young people, when you call them into farmers things, you understand, it doesn't resonate well with them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
But
but
especially when you talk about the indigenous seeds.
yeah, sure.
So after this ruling is out, and this seed law has been a huge topic in Kenya, yeah, how do you think this affect the future of agriculture in Kenya and also and beyond?
Let me say, Kwanza, when we are speaking about food, it's actually one of the SDGs by the United Nations.
Sure.
Because when you study the SDGs, there is one that says zero hunger.
Yeah, sure.
You understand? But we cannot eradicate hunger in this country or in this country. This country or this continent. But then we have put some laws that actually are sabotaging the free will to plant, the free will to share seeds,
Right.
and actually conduct agriculture in a manner that is more conversant with our own people. So for me, I think it's a large topic, but I think it's something that really it's a win for us.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
It's a win for us.
It's a win for us.
And with the climatic change, climatic change impacts our food systems.
Yeah.
And these indigenous seeds has been seen as to become more resilient.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So how do you think after this ruling we can leverage the seeds? The youth can leverage the seeds to promote food sustainability and food security in Kenya. How can you do that?
First of all, let me say this. When we are protecting the indigenous seeds, it does not mean that we don't want to embrace modernity or the current modern farm technologies.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is we want to bring all these people on board, the scientists, the agriculturists, and the new technology on board. But let us not bring something that are not conversant with our systems. They are not conversant with our climate.
Yeah, sure.
And that is why we said that these indigenous seeds, we want to use them in a manner that we can advance them in a way that helps us to farm and to do farming in a modern way, but keeping our seeds. And that is why we said that we are protecting the indigenous seeds, because they are very much conversant with the climatic conditions. And the farmers in Africa understand well how to deal with these seeds. But if you dictate that they have to use a certain type of seed that they have never used before, and these seeds, they are very sensitive on the climatic nature of conditions, even the patterns that they are supposed to be planted, you see, even the seasons. So it will take time. So while we bring in new technologies and new seeds, let us first understand that we have the seeds that have been existing before, and our farmers know how to produce well with these seeds. And that is why we are advocating that even with these indigenous seeds, we can still do modern farming with these seeds, and we can keep the foods and the foods and the seeds that we have keeping for years. You understand? So that if new thing comes, let us embrace it, but let us not forget our cultures, and let us not forget our foods. You understand? Yeah, so that is it, and it gives us identity as Africans, it gives us identity as Kenyans, and it gives us identity as the people of Africa.
Very true.
Yeah.
You've mentioned something very nice on modern technology.
Yeah.
So as we move to that thoughts, modern technology, our culture is deeply tied in traditional heritage.
That
even this indigenous seeds is tied in our cultural heritage. So, and there's a very big gap with our youths when it comes to matters, traditions, and culture. How do you think we can share this traditional knowledge even to our youth to continue preserving and growing the indigenous seeds?
It is true. Youths and traditionalism, the things they feel like it's not their thing.
True.
But let me tell you, let me bring this into attention, that food is not tradition. You understand? Food is food, and food, it traverses all generations. You cannot say that there is there is food that is old and there is modern food. All these things we are seeing, they are just being transitioned into with technology, into something that we call it new, but the reality is this seeds has been there all in all. Now, when you are talking about indigenous seeds, we are not talking about something that is traditional. We are simply talking about the foods that we can keep and that are easy to plant even in this generation. You understand? And now that is why we want to use these seeds and the young people to understand that when you're talking about indigenous, so we are not selling the aspect of traditionalism. That is why when we started, I said that we want to embrace technology, we want to embrace the science, the modern science that is used in farming, but not to bring the things that will sabotage the freedom of us planting what we have to plant or what we want to plant. And that is why we are saying that we are not eradicating the aspect of modernity or into the society. We want this technology. We want our young people to do things in a modern way and to go with how the world is going.
True.
But also having the freedom of planting and sharing seeds that the old people and their forefathers have been sharing. So that is why we have to bring into attention that there is a way we can keep our tradition in a manner that embraces modernity.
Very true. I strongly agree that there's a way we can keep our tradition while embracing modern technology.
Exactly.
And now we have social media in this current generation. And Instagram and TikTok has been proven has a lot of trends. How do you think we can leverage these platforms to ensure that our youth are well informed on matters in indigenous seeds and food security?
I think it's very vital in this generation nowadays with this media. What do we call them? They are called sites.
Social media.
Social media platforms, and I think they are very handy, especially in these matters of agriculture, because at the end of the day we have the agriculture. It's the new ones, actually not the new ones, but the young people who have the passion to actually do agriculture, do the farming. But the only way they can do that, it is through this social media. They can sell their ideas. They can learn through them. They can connect to people who do the same things. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think if you are a young person and you are really, really much into agriculture, into farming and these things, these tools will help you so much, because you will study, you will make even the sales through that platforms, and you will communicate with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, and even you will find scientists. They have done their research, and you'll find them in TikTok. We'll connect with them through all these social media sites. So I think the young people, it is a win for them also.
Yeah.
To embrace the modern technology and use them wisely. Yeah.
Very true. The court ruling in Norway was as a result of youth activism and push and pull. Do you think that, hence moving forward, now our youth will be engaging in more social issues, not necessarily be matters on agriculture, maybe it can be on any other thing, social issue. Do you think now this proves that our youth can lead activism and bring change to our country?
It is true. And like just to have seen, so many youths came out in social media. They did Twitter storms telling the government that we want to keep our indigenous seeds and we want to save our indigenous seeds. Kindly give us the freedom to do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
So it surely indicates that the young people, they have the energy and they have the power. And when they unite, they come together in unity. We surely see the results. And actually, this gives us as young people an indicator that our voices matters a lot.
Yeah.
And that it tells us that when we come together and press these corporations and press these governments and tell them actually what we want to do, as long as we have the same voice and as long as we are very sure of what we want, and it's actually something that is productive and something that is good for the society, I tell you, together we win. And I want to encourage the young people, not just for the seed loss, but anything. We have seen that, especially the government that we have in Africa, they have a tendency of pressing us into a corner somewhere, and they usually achieve when we keep silent. But when we come out and protest peacefully through social media handles, through Twitter storms, through coming out and doing the advocacy thing, we usually win. And this is a very powerful tool. Social media is a very powerful tool, and especially for young people because they are conversant with it. So I want to encourage them to use this platform wisely and do advocacy, do Twitter storms, tag those corporations, tag those governments. And for sure, they will know that this generation is not like the older generation that usually kept silent.
Yeah.
You understand?
True.
So they will do things knowing that there are people behind them that actually are like watchdogs. They are watching what they do.
Yeah.
So they will even fear going astray. They will follow the constitution.
True.
And that is the document that we just want us to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. United we stand, we are divided we fall.
Divided we fall.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Kenya is one of the first countries to challenge this seed law. Do you think this has opened a loophole to opportunities to challenge these social issues that we are facing, even in the global?
Yeah, actually, let me say this. There are some countries in this world, when this seed law verdict began, it actually not began in Kenya. But if you go to some Western countries, for example, America, they do not have this freedom of choosing what they want to plant in their farms. But it is dictated by the government and the corporations. And now the Kenyan government wanted to try this. But in America, they have the systems that actually are very conversant with what they do. But we cannot bring something that is in Western culture and bring it in Africa.
Very true.
And this clearly tells you that we were missing a mark somewhere because we wanted to copy and paste. But we forget that this is a different nation with different climatic conditions, with different people, and with different cultures. You understand? So something that works in America or any country globally, it does not work in Africa.
Yeah.
And again, it is not. I'm not sure about this, but I don't think even the Americans are so happy, are very happy that they cannot have the freedom to choose what they have to plant. So maybe I can congratulate Kenyans that they can actually think about this. They actually did critical thinking about this matter and realize that this thing cannot work for us because our people, they are not very much advanced, and we do not have those systems that Americans have that can produce their food without the indigenous seeds. But as Africa, we have small scale farmers that we need to protect. That if everything will end up in the market, that everything you want to plant, you have to go to the market, you have to buy the things from the corporations, and you know the level of the level of corruption in this country.
Yeah.
Then we were going to lose big time. So for me, I think this is something that even other countries, and especially in Africa, have learned from Kenyans, that actually the government can come out with something, but the people will choose whether that thing will pass or not. Yeah.
The people has the power to choose whether it will pass or not.
Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah.
And looking ahead to 2050 with the population increase knowing, what do you think young people should leverage with this ruling so that to ensure there is enough food for the future generation?
I mean, what I usually say is, if you want a productive community or a productive society, then you have to have enough food. Because let me ask you, for example, what do you think you really woke up to go and work?
So that I may bring
Yeah.
it to my table at
Exactly. To bring food on your table. So I think this verdict, now that it has gone the way the farmers wanted, it is actually a win because it is giving us a wide option of producing foods. So for those who are able to go and buy and do as the corporations do and do the farming the way corporations want them to do, those are people with money. We do not have a problem with that. But for a smaller farmer somewhere who cannot achieve buying the seeds, buying the whatever in the market, they can share the seeds, save with the friends and the neighbors, and they can actually produce using the organic the organic nature of farming. You understand?
Yeah.
The traditional seeds, and they will produce foods. And that is actually, you have gone to the villages, and you know, in our villages, our people do not necessarily need to go to the market to produce foods. They have their gardens there and they do their things. They have the freedom. But these people, you cannot go and arrest them saying that these things you're planting, they are not, they have not been ordained by the government. You understand? Because now we have a law that allows anybody to plant any kind of food as long as it is the food that is accepted by the government. Yeah.
Very nice. So true, Noe. What role do you think the youth play in policy making? And even as we come to a close, briefly tell us ways in which we can always ensure that this activism reach the policymakers themselves.
You know, like I said, the youth, God has granted us the mercies of being brilliant. And I thank God, the highest population of people who are educated in this country in Africa for the recent ages are the young people. So it simply means that we are the watchdogs of the older society. And therefore, if we remain silent, it means that we are messing up the whole community. So we are the eyes of the whole community.
Yeah.
You know, and that is why we have to be very keen on what the policymakers are doing so that they not bring us policies that will sabotage our people.
Yeah.
the policies that will press us into a corner that we cannot even shake or we cannot do, living in fear, in anxiety. You understand? So these small matters that we think we are not they will not bring the change. It matters a lot. Just like this simple thing that the advocacy thing the youths did and came out clearly saying that they do not want to do anything that makes indigenous seeds illegal. You understand?
Yeah.
It has counted and it has yielded fruits. So I think for me, the youths should be very much keen, and they should always keep their eyes open, so that if the people in the offices or the people who make policies want to do something that is very illegal, we are there to watch and to point fingers and say that this thing you want to do, we will not accept it.
Very true.
Yeah, and if we come out clear together, and for example, these educative sessions you are doing in your podcast, this is the way to go. If most young people can do this, then we will be walking in the same direction, and for sure we will win.
Very true. Very true. Folks, you have heard it from Noik Mandu that are all the youths, you are watchdogs. You are there to see and watch all things that are being by the government or NGOs, so that your voice may be heard. Maybe now you can give us a parting shot. This has been a very interesting segment. From our first episode to this episode, maybe you can give us a parting shot.
The parting shot is just to charge the young people that together we can, and together we will win.
True.
So let them not fear anything. Let them not fear anything.
True.
Yeah.
Do not fear anything. You have heard it from Noik Mandu, Mombasa-based leader for Greenpeace Africa. Thank you so much for watching. That has been our time. These Net Frames, you can catch all this conversation at Net Frames across all social media platforms. While everyone's busy chasing aesthetics, soft lives, and chasing vibes, the real question is, will they will be food for our next generations? Food for thought. See you next time.
See you next time. Amandla.